Hello, everybody. This is Losing Lives podcast. We're doing Doom.
Sorry, folks. We're having technical difficulties.
Hit the button.
Maybe we're not doing Doom.
Here we go.
Know.
Well, good night, everybody.
I can hear it back there. What's going on?
Yeah, we're gonna have to stop. All right, we're back, and I think we're good to go. So let's try again.
At a distant research facility, the final 10% of the human genome has just been discovered. And with it, all hell has broken loose. Now, a call for help has gone out.
Game time. Listen up, man. We're going in hot. If it breathes, kill it. There's something coming up behind you. It's in the sewer.
Was that laugh in the trailer?
Yeah.
Some of it was me. This last part of the trailer is just like a bunch of screams and explosions.
That's all it is.
That's basically like part of the movie. It just screams.
So it
Discovered the last 10% of the human genome.
Yeah.
Like that's-
Yeah, so this movie definitely suffers from the same thing like Mario does, because Mario, as you stated in the last episode, was a movie that had nothing to do about what the game was.
Yeah.
Doom's the same thing. It's really nothing to do with what the game is. Like,
Well, with Mario, it was just so much, game source and fan expectations. With this one, it was none of that.
other than the big fucking gun. Like, they at least showed that.
Bioforce gun.
But The Rock did call it a big fucking gun, so...
Yeah, as in a big fucking gun.
Well.
You can call it the big fucking gun.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
Alright. So, now, Doom was actually a very big game back in the 90s. It's the next release after Wolfenstein, which was the first-person shooter, that really was ever made by John Romero and John Carmack. Interesting book that gives you more insight on the past and about Doom, that game, but also Quake and Castle Wolfenstein and all that is Masters of Doom. It's a pretty good book and something I have recently read and made me interested in wanting to do this movie. I've only played a few Doom games. I know the new one that just came out had got pretty decent reviews. I mean, they're not like 9s and 10s if that's your standard for, oh, that's good. It was like 7s and 8s, but I really enjoyed the game, the new Doom game. And I think I played the one that came from Xbox.
Doom 3.
Yeah, Doom 3. But like when it was hot in PC, I was like 4, 5, something like that. So I mean, it's kind of, to be honest, but it was one of the first games. Doom was the first game where you saw deathmatch, from my understanding, where you got to see people play first-person shooters against each other in a multiplayer setting. It was the first game that did that. Doom really took the world by storm, well, at least America by storm, when it released back in like I don't know, it was like, when was Doom, 92, 94?
It was like 92, 93.
Yeah, so it was somewhere in the early 90s that the Doom game released, and then they did a Doom 2 which did pretty good as well. So and after that, we've got first-person shooters as they are now. They've evolved, and now we have online gameplay. We still have death matches, and all that stuff. But a lot of that started with Doom. So
December 10th, 1993.
93. So this was a big game for gaming, and for them to do a movie on it, you'd expect, whoa, this is, this, I would think it'd have high expectations. I didn't know much about Doom, but I think the Xbox game came out before this movie did, because I remember having some experience with Doom, and I saw this movie come out, and I was like, oh yeah, this would be cool.
Because if you watch the movie, it has a lot it takes a lot from Doom 3.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, this movie could have been called anything else
but Doom.
It didn't need to be called Doom. Doom, the game, is about, like, you go to Mars and you unlock, or the portal to hell opens up, and you're fighting like a bunch of demons.
Yeah, very basic, cut dry. Space Marine is stationed on the Mars. The military finds a portal to hell, opens it, affects everybody. Shit goes to hell.
Why do they open it?
Military project.
Well, this is the thing. John Carmack and John Romero were basically like first-person shooters. They don't need storylines. We'll just throw some shit together and they'll play the game.
Just
That's how it was. That's how. I mean, look at Castle Wolfenstein. It's just like, oh, you're a guy, president.
You're a Green Beret.
Kill Nazis and you're gonna fight Hitler.
There's your plot. Killing, that's all it takes.
Well, that's this too. So it's just like, oh, you're on Mars and you're killing demons, and I don't know if there was much story beyond that, but I never really played it. So do you know if there was some kind of underlying storyline to it
For Doom?
Yeah, for the first one.
Yeah. Space Marine stationed on Mars. The military opens up a portal to hell. Everything goes to shit.
I believe
and he's a one-man army.
In the later games, they try to say they use this portal to hell, like siphoning energy.
The third one.
Yeah, okay, the third one started that, and I think even the new one kind of plays with that idea as well. Yeah. That you're using things from hell as this alternate energy source, and you're able to access it from the planet Mars. So it takes place in Mars. Like the newest one that just came out, you start off, you wake up in this abandoned base there's like dead bodies everywhere because the demons came from hell and kind of went rampaging through the space station.
Yeah, you're in a rock sarcophagus.
Yeah, so you get out and you kind of uncover what happens, and you end up going from Mars to hell to Mars to hell, and you kind of flip back and forth, and you're just killing demons. Like, it's a fast-paced shooter. Like, it's not one of those, oh, hide in the corner, pop, 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 hide in the corner. No, it's like run and gun and shoot.
You're out in the open.
Yeah, because if you hide in the corner and try to shoot, you're just going to die. Like, you have to keep moving because things are constantly being shot at you by demons. It's actually pretty fun. It's different from other shooters that, like Call of Duties and even like Halo, where you're like, you hide behind rocks and you're kind of shooting down the shield and killing the enemies. Doom is just like you're shooting them, and then like, if you shoot them, they'll start blinking, and you go and melee attack them, and you'll just like rip their heads off, rip them into pieces, and you'll get like health and ammo for doing that. So it's actually a game mechanic as well as just like, oh, this badass thing you can do. So it's different. It's fun. It's interesting. I like to see that the new Doom is good, and the original Doom was just such a landmark for shooters back in the 90s. So them doing this movie now, like, you think, oh man, so they're gonna go to Mars and they're fighting demons and all. Nope.
Not even close.
None of that.
Well, yeah, I picked it up in the trailer. It's just they unlocked
It's a zombie movie. It's really all it is. It's like they unlock that chromosome, they get it, and some people, it transforms them into monsters. Other people, they become superhuman badasses.
Is that The Rock?
No.
Not even close.
Rock becomes like a villain I say it's like out of nowhere. Like the whole movie's like, come on, we're doing this mission. We're gonna, get him. Come on, guys. And he's like all positive and like, yeah. And then all of a sudden at the end of the movie, he's just like, it's all about the mission, and we gotta kill everybody because nobody can live. We have to get this.
Mission comes first.
Yeah. So then he's just like slaughters a room full of people, and you're like, wait, what? Like, I thought you were a good guy the whole time with Carl Urban's character, who's the main guy, the good guy, who's the guy who... Did you see the...
Dread 3D?
The recent... The last Dread. Not, Stallone's Dread, but the other...
I thought I did.
He was Dread in that movie, Carl Urban. Yeah.
What? Doesn't he play in
The Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, he does. He's the one of the bad guys who's like trying to kill Riddick so that he can you win what you kill.
It's okay if you don't know. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll tell you what though. It starts off with all these soldiers in like a bunker, and they're like, "Oh, we're about to go on vacation." Woo-hoo. Well, let me back up. It actually starts with a small like introduction about them having a base on Mars, which is actually not needed. Like, the whole movie can take place just somewhere else. No problem. I think they show Mars, like, once, where, like, Carl Urban has this weird flashback staring out the window, and you don't even really get to see the flashback.
Because we're supposed to care.
Yeah, but it's just like, something bad happened. It is, like, affected him.
The Rock's like, hey, did something bad happen?
Yeah, that's exactly what The Rock. He's like, hey, did something bad happen? Comes like, what's next to do? Like what? Don't worry about that. And we never hear what happens, but apparently something happened, and he became a soldier, and his sister became a scientist. And apparently he could have been that too.
A smoking hot scientist.
Yeah, that one of the soldiers, through the whole time monsters are around killing people, he's just trying to fuck. Like, he is like always trying to bang.
Rapey.
That's in like every zombie movie.
Yeah.
There's always that one guy.
Yeah, there's always the guy who's just like, I mean, it's the end of the world. Like, what are we gonna do?
Well, he doesn't really do that though. Like, he's just like, "So girl," like he talks like, "Oh, this is gonna be over soon. No big deal. When this is done, can we fuck? Like, hey, what's going on?" Like, he's like hitting on her, not like, "Oh, we're about to die. Just one more time."
One last hurrah.
No. It's not that. It's just like.
He would have had no problem.
Yeah, like, he is like basically like, hey, when this is done, let's go fuck, like, or let's go out, let's do something. Like, you're hot as shit, whatever.
Portman. I want to say it was his name. Portman.
No, not Portman. Portman's the creepy guy.
Yeah, he's the creepy one.
But he's not the guy that's hitting on the doctor the whole time. It's that other the black guy, one of the black guys, the younger black guy. I don't know his name. That's in the movie. I'm gonna pull it up actually right now. In fact, why don't you pull it up?
Am I pulling up the other black guy?
No, just pull up the cast.
Just look up other black guys.
Yeah, look up other black guy. No, just pull up the cast, and you can name some of the names. I'll probably get it. But Portman was the creepy guy that was like, "Oh, ladies, we've got a code, whatever. I need to take you in the back and strip search you."
Yeah, because that's what all Space Marines do.
Yep. And he's
Destroyer?
no, not that guy. I know who that is. He has that battle in the pit destroyer. I think.
He gets destroyed.
Yeah, he gets destroyed.
Very well.
So, yeah.
The only other black man I see is someone by the name of Duke.
Duke, that's him. Duke. So Duke is always trying to get that puss from Sam. Sam is the sister of the main character, Carl Urban's character. What's his name again?
John
Reaper.
Reaper, that's right.
Reaper.
Yeah, that's it. Because they're now look,
Grim Reaper.
you're a Marine, so am I wrong in understanding that when y'all go do missions, or if y'all go do something, or in your time as a Marine, do y'all give yourself like cool nicknames and like have your guns with that? Is that something y'all do, or?
I mean, First of all, to elaborate on that, yeah, we were all a bunch of creepers. No, just kidding. Yeah, when we went out to the field, we named our guns whatever we wanted.
Oh wait,
and stuff like that.
let me change this. How accurately did they portray Marines in this movie?
God. Some to an extent.
But they also continue to call them soldiers.
Correct.
And that's not what you call a Marine.
People, Marine are not soldiers.
Yeah.
Marines are Marines.
Fuck.
That's the note.
That's in my notes. I got tired of hearing that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but, so Duke's always trying to bang Sam, and then Portman's always just trying to either bang someone or gross someone out or take drugs, give drugs to the noob guy, whatever. Like, he was just your all-around scumbag guy. Like, everybody had their little archetypes, you know?
Yeah,
and
but
like,
you ever notice that all those guys who did a little bit of bad, when they got infected, they became monsters? And the fact that Carl Urban's character, who is the good guy, when he was infected, he was a superhuman.
Yeah.
So do you think there's some kind of good and evil aura to it with that? If The Rock wouldn't have went and massacred a bunch of people and he got infected, wouldn't he be superhuman?
I don't know.
Or am I thinking way too much into
I
this?
think you might.
It would follow.
You know, yeah, it probably would, but no, I don't know what to say about this movie. Like,
It's aliens.
it's like I want no.
It's Predator.
No.
It's both.
No. It wants to be, I guess, something in that vein. They had a decent review if you wanted to watch that on YouTube. Hilarosity, I think is what it's called. I know I watched that, and he made a good point about how they have a lot of like elements of Predator and a lot of elements of Alien in this movie, which they kind of do. Like some of the monsters, they have the little tongue thing where they sticks to their neck and now they're infected. Kind of like the Alien has the little head thing come out of its mouth, and then you have all the guys like in a chopper scene, and they have like a little joke about fucking pussies.
Then especially when The Rock says, "If it breathes, kill it."
Yeah.
And all I can think is, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah. So, it's yeah. I don't even know where to get into this movie because it kind of depressing because the game and everything in the game, there's so much to it that could be so cool to explore if done right in the movie. And they just kind of threw that away. Like, there was really nothing about Mars, really nothing about hell, really nothing about demons.
The games were just pretty basic.
Yeah, the games were basic. So this would be like the proper game to do a movie of and to do it good. And it had the substance to be like a cool action movie. But this movie felt like it wanted to be a horror movie, it wanted to be an action movie, and it just couldn't really make up its mind. Because they would have the beginning scene, the beginning starts off kind of slow. Something happened. What your note said, the first scene where the doctor's all running away from the monster, and the first scene has the doctor blinking. He blinks 33 times in less than 5 seconds. He's just like, he's repeating a message, blinking just like you're just blinking just now, just like repeatedly. I guess it's supposed to show fear. It just looks like he's spasming slightly in his eyes. And
actually, my notes say, "Holy shit, Seth counted all his blinks."
Yeah, so that's true. I did, and I think I wrote it down somewhere, but I didn't even bring my notebook for this. Like, it's just, I definitely lost a lot of lives with this movie. Like, I don't really like. I didn't really care for it much at all, to be honest. Like, because it's such a letdown because of the potential of it to be good. Like, the first part of the movie, after they find out, oh, scientists are dead, we've got to cut our vacation short and go. So then they have the little helicopter scene, and you have all these guys as their typical arch type guys. The super serious guy who's our main hero that's like has a broken past that we never find out about. You've got the other guy who's like the big guns destroyer, like, you know, like serious, like, I've got to stop. And then you've got the other guys, like he's like the ladies' man who's like trying to hit on the nurse the whole time. Then
And he's the ugliest.
the creepy. Well, not him.
Are you talking about Portman?
Duke is the guy that's trying to hit on Sam the whole
confused.
time, and he's like kind of late. Portman is the creepy, like, sicko guy.
Freddy
that's
Krueger
like
looking dude.
trying to, you know, tell women to come in the back so he can strip search him, and like, he dies taking his shit. So, you know, hey, it fits. And
It's karma for you.
yeah. Then you have the newbie kind of guy, and you know the shaking, he's scared, and he takes drugs from Portman to keep him focused, and blah. So and then you have The Rock, and like this is probably one of The Rock's, and this is the thing, like The Rock is great, and he's okay in this movie, but he's like a great actor, and a lot of the stuff like. I like The Rock. I mean, he's not like a super, like, your serious, dramatic, like... I think he's done some roles like that, but he's
not really dynamic, but he's just kind of got charisma.
Yeah.
And he's just very likable.
He will work with whatever you give him.
Yeah, exactly.
And in this
That's
instance,
But
they gave him
He
this.
does typically play, like, the same character. You know, that's kind of why, like, I don't really see him branching out too much. He's got some roles here and there, but usually he's, you know, the big tough guy who I'm pretty sure there have been multiple movies where he has the same background of, well, I grew up in a rough neighborhood, and
Tooth
you
Fairy.
get pushed, you learn to push back. I push back harder. I swear I've heard that in like 3 separate movies from this guy.
Yeah, he might have.
I'm sure one of them's the Tooth Fairy.
I have no idea what you're referencing right now.
The movie with The Rock.
Where he was a tooth fairy, so he had to put on like a low...
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That,
All right, maybe he's a little more dynamic than I was giving him credit for.
yeah, that should probably been the movie we watched instead of this movie.
They've been more dynamic.
Yeah. But it's almost like there's not even much to really discuss. Like after they get to the place, they have this teleportation thing, and it's like, oh, you jump in this thing and you teleport over here, and when you go over there, you get to see a guy in a wheelchair who teleported the wrong way, and his ass got teleported somewhere else, and he's like in a wheelchair from the body up.
Pinky.
Yeah, Pinky.
He was alive?
Yeah,
Oh.
in the wheelchair thing. But see, like, so they go to Mars. Don't really see you, like, just a quick teleportation, and then you're in like another like high tech building, kind of similar to the high tech building you was in previously.
Is that where they kind of branched to that scene where they took like what looked like shots from the video games?
No, that's at the end.
That's later on.
So that's at the end of the movie. So when we're starting off, they go to Mars. And they're like, oh, these doctors are missing. You need to go find these doctors. So the whole movie is just like quiet, them like searching, looking, and there's like no real action to almost an
suspense.
hour. Yeah, it's like a suspense.
I can tell you this, guys, for being top elite space marines, these guys couldn't hit shit.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
They kept referring their scopes as sniper scopes. I'm sitting there thinking, it's just called a scope. Maybe if you looked into it, maybe you would hit something. Because the whole movie they kept looking over their scopes. It's like, we can't get it. I was like, you're not looking into it.
Yeah, so come to find out, they find these scientists and they're like basically almost like zombies and turning into more monstrous creatures as it goes along. Apparently, there's some kind of chromosome. This is like what I think people have like 22 or something like that. This is the 23rd chromosome, and when you get that, it's like there was like a race of people on Mars that had this extra chromosome who could heal faster and they were stronger and whatever, but they still ended up dying out anyway, so whatever. Like it doesn't
A lot of good.
Are we still talking
Yeah,
about the same
like-
movie?
Yeah.
I thought we jumped to Resident Evil for a second.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm waiting for Umbrella to show up the whole time and be like, oh, you thought this was Doom? No. This is Resident Evil Part 7 because we have that many movies of Resident Evil for no reason.
Yeah, those things are out of control.
Yeah. And what amazes me, not to go too much on Resident Evil because we're doing Doom, but what amazes me about Resident Evil is that they do all these movies and they go to theaters.
Yeah, like they're
not-
still
Do you-
kind of successful.
Do you
Yeah.
think people keep saying to themselves, maybe this one will be better?
Most of the people that I see that are going to see it in theaters are like they really like the rest of those movies. There's just like a decent sort of cult following for those.
I
Like,
guess.
when I talk to my buddies about the movies, they're just like, oh, that one sucked. I was like, I agree. And they just say, because they didn't have Leon Kennedy. I was like, well, it's going to probably suck regardless. And then finally they put Leon Kennedy, some no-name Russian actor, playing Leon Kennedy. And I just looked at him like,
What's your excuse now?
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear it.
But getting back to Doom, so it tries to play like a horror movie. In the game, there's terrifying elements in the game, but it's a
Doom
first-person
3
shooter.
was
Yeah.
very like
Yeah, Doom 3 kind of switched it up from the run and gun to a more
Yeah.
survival horror approach.
that
Okay.
it did. And so that's why when you were saying that this movie was sort of like piggybacking off of Doom 3,
Well, he said that.
they don't know who I'm talking to.
I do. So
God
I'm
damn
changing
Hey, he's your brother. Don't look at me.
So that's what I was thinking, because Doom 3, I remember when I played it, it wasn't really like, I didn't walk away feeling like that was an action-packed thrill ride. It was mostly like dark hallways
Yeah,
with a
because
couple of guns.
one instance is put up a flashlight or put up your gun.
Yeah,
Put up your flashlight, put up your gun.
yeah. And so it was very much so like a horror game. So I figure the movie was trying to capture that, but didn't want to commit. And still wanted, I mean, God, that trailer. Just explosions and laser beams.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up when Doom
What
3...
we didn't get.
Yeah, so Doom 3 came out August 3rd, 2004, and the Doom movie came out 2005. So, yeah, it was probably piggybacking off that, like Ryan said. And I
Because
guess
if they
that's when-
decided to do anything before that, they would have had to piggyback over Final Doom.
Yeah,
Or possibly Doom 64, which nobody played.
yeah. So, yeah.
So I think it only made sense. It's like, well, Doom 3's out before a year. Let's do a movie.
Yeah, plus Doom 3, there was a lot of buzz. Mostly from what I remember, just from the graphics, like at the time, were like staggering.
Then exclusively only to Xbox.
Yeah, but I mean, I know a friend of mine tried to play, I think it was Doom 3 on his PC, and it melted his graphics cards. Because they were just like really impressive for the time.
And then I know they re-released it for PS3, like the BFG edition,
I don't remember.
a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
So
Why? Because words.
So, moving forward with the movie, they're sneaking around, this more horror suspense type thing, and then you get a couple like monsters jump out. They start attacking one by one. I think they get the guy that like won't take the Lord's name in vain. And so he says, "God damn it," and then stops to like cut a cross in his arm because that's what you do to punish yourself from saying "God damn it."
Yeah, I wrote down emo much.
Yeah. So that "God damn it, God damn it, God damn it, God damn it," and he would just have cuts all up down his arm. You know, like. Taking it too seriously. He's the first one to turn into like a monster. He gets bit and
Because he said, "God damn it."
no.
I mean,
He cuts himself.
it would
because of
follow from the
it would follow.
previous
It would
theory.
be like, hey, guess what? Cutting yourself is not good enough. Like, you're being punished now, zombie monster.
There you go.
Because he dies. And then they have a complete zombie scene of dead guy on the bed, gets up with the sheet over him. Then
That's
So now it's
so
a George
cliche.
Romero movie.
yeah, and it like comes through the window. There's some kind of glass, and they like shoot him. Blah blah blah. Like zombie. Like they're turning into like monsters, but they're also like zombies, but like big time zombie monsters. You know.
So you
it's-
sure this is not Resident Evil we're talking
Yeah,
about?
exactly. Like it's like, are you
Yeah.
sure?
Resident
like-
Evil got out of control.
There's like
Yeah.
one scene, like I said earlier, where he looks out and you see some of Mars. Other than that, I'm pretty sure there's no Mars.
It's like strictly like indoor settings.
indoors. Like there's no like, oh, let's put a spacesuit. We gotta go out into the planet and like have a
need that.
shootout or something like
Nope.
something cool. No, we stay inside. Mars is out there. Don't worry. Hey,
Believe
See?
us,
We're-
we're on Mars.
we're on Mars. Look outside. Mars. Okay. I mean, they could have just been in like Nevada and New York and teleported. The teleportation could still have been there. They didn't have to go to outer space. They all stayed here. They could have just found. Hey, they could have did a what if scenario like Mario. It just said, what if in New York we had 23 chromosomes
What if
instead
I'm
of
me?
22?
Hey, I'm walking here.
And then they go to New York because somebody over there's got 23 chromosomes instead of 22. So that's all it could have been.
What if they had 23
And he could
chromosomes?
have looked outside, had a serious moment looking at the streets of New York and been like, never again. Well, whatever dramatic moment he had, remembering whatever sadness he had. Nobody gives a
Well,
shit.
speaking about him, I kind of realized in the movie he hated socializing. It's like every time somebody sparked a conversation with him, he just gave him that look like,
Yeah.
wait, did you just crop dust me?
Yeah.
By the way, in humans, each cell normally contains 23 chromosomes.
So they had 24. So I'm saying 23 the whole time. There was 24. So, yeah.
But we know what you meant,
Yeah.
so
You know what
it's
I
all
mean.
good.
Yeah. Sorry. Science is very bad. But you know what? They could have said 23 and 22 probably wouldn't have made a difference anyway. So for that movie, they could have been whatever they want.
You could have just said, as much as my science is bad, so is this movie!
Yeah.
And it
So-
all would have been forgiven.
Yeah. So after basically everybody slowly one by one fights monsters and dies or turns into monsters, you have like, what is it? Reaper, which is Carl Urban's character. The Rock's character, who's
Sarge.
just called Sarge. Yeah. I think Duke is still alive because he's been trying to bang Sam the whole time, and she's alive.
Which Carl Urban's okay with it.
Yeah, and I think there's one more character that's still alive. I think the newbie, because I think because after like everybody basically dies, and they get to the teleporter and go back to Earth, which who can tell the difference? it's like,
They all look like the same place to me.
yeah, it's like, oh, we've got to kill everybody and like shut this shit down. Like that's The Rock. Like it's the mission. So then it's like, well, what? Like the whole time, The Rock's like trying to save his like team. He's hearing them screaming radios because they're fighting monsters. One's getting eaten up in a toilet, and one fell down the pit. Is finding them, and so like The Rock's pretty decent dude. And then at the end, it's like, oh, we got to kill everybody. And the noob's like, what? I think it's the noob, right? Isn't it the noob?
Yeah, he's just
like,
look, we can't be doing this. Come
Yeah.
on, if we helped them, everything would be good.
And then-
Shot.
Yeah, shot. Rock just shoots him in the head, and it's just like insubordination, mutiny. He had to die. What?
Where did this
He
guy
was
come
like,
from?
he just didn't want to kill people. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
And-
I kept asking myself, who gave the order for that?
Yeah,
Because The Rock, I'm sure The Rock just went to his chain of command and just said, hey, there's a bunch of shit going on. Should we just kill them all? And his commander's like, I guess so. All right, that's the mission.
yeah. So
It's like, I didn't get what's going on, Sarge. No, it's fine, sir. We got it.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, sure.
So
Fine.
Sarge shoots that guy just out the blue, and it's like right there. It feels like almost a last minute thing that they were like, oh wait, we don't have like a big bad guy at the end. Let's just make The Rock that. Yeah, and then we'll like, what a twist. You know, like, oh, he's the bad guy. You know, like it felt like it was a last minute, like maybe change to the script or something like that.
Total cop out.
Yeah, so like they're just like, oh, we need a final boss battle at the end.
We need a
And-
one-on-one fight.
Yeah, it's yeah. So, and it ends up the infection like spreads through the teleporter some way. Like a lot of them are infected, and so something happens. They get split up, and The Rock gets sucked up with a bunch of the monsters. And Carl Urban's character Reaper runs with his sister Sam somewhere, and he gets knocked out, or he's about to die. Something happens. He's about to die. I think he gets shot by The Rock.
I want to say he shoots himself.
He probably should have. And his sister.
No, he did. He shoots himself.
Why?
My notes never specify. It has a bunch of question marks.
It probably explains it. So his sister's like, "Oh, we gotta save you. I gotta give you this extra chromosome." He's like, "What if it turns me into a monster?" It's like, "Well,
Okay.
yeah." So, don't die. Click. So then, and of course, he doesn't die. His sister's gone, and then that's when we get the first-person shooter scene.
Wait, guys, I think it was an accident when he shot himself. I remember how it shot. I think it was an accident. I'm trying to remember. I was like, either Carl Urban's trying to escape from this movie, or maybe he just accidentally shot himself. Because I remember it's like, oh, don't worry about it. But you're shot. I was just like, he's the only one firing shots.
Well,
Okay, make every bullet count. Cool.
And I'm actually blazing through this movie because it's just about over. So it ends up having you get your first person shooter scene. So now, like, it tries to give the interpretation that like all his senses are like heightened, and he's like super aware, and he has this gun, and you're just seeing this first person. But it plays out like a level of like House of the Dead, where it's just like you see this guy kind of walking, and then like monsters kind of pop out here and there. And it was like,
reload.
I was waiting for that to
Reload.
happen on the screen, just like him
Reload.
shooting a couple, and then like and then they pop
reload.
out in like almost comical ways. Like one monster pops out, he's like, and he's making weird noises, and he's just like, oh, and shoots him in the face. Like it's not. I guess they were maybe trying to go for terrifying, but it was or scary, but it was
it
just
just
like
came out
laughable.
ridiculous.
yeah, like
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like yeah, okay, yeah. All right, first person shooter scene. Oh yeah, why are we doing this? Oh, because the game's a first person shooter, so we gotta throw that scene in there. You know, like, and I watched,
the fans will appreciate this.
Yeah. How many people watching this movie? Is this movie rated R?
Yeah.
So, assuming your target demographic is an adult, how many adults are gonna look at that and say, "Oh, it's like the game. That shit's not gonna happen."
Yeah, you'll be like me in theaters that time when I saw it, and I'm like, oh, it's like the game.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
You know, it's a like if you go search Doom on YouTube, that's like always like one of the first things that pops up. Oh, first person shooter scene Doom. So apparently impressed some people, and they had a video on how they made
That's
it,
unfortunate.
and it took them like days to shoot this like scene of like because they did it with the movie itself actually, to give it some credit, doesn't use like CGI. It does everything with like practical effects, and so they actually kind of made these like monsters with like, you know, makeup and stuff like that, and it's not all these bad CGI crap. So that was kind of cool to see that. But this whole first person shooter almost feels kind of CGI. But looking at like the video, they were talking about how they made it. They try to like set the camera up certain ways. It was just like slide it around and like give these quick shots of things happening, and it's all timed out or something. I don't know.
It's almost like a really bad GoPro.
Yeah, basically. So and that stuff seemed like really computer generated, that whole like little first person shooter scene. And so it's kind of like slow too. Like it's a lot of just like walking around and then like trying to do the quick scares.
Reload.
I think it'd have played better if it was just like
Shoot off the screen.
yeah.
Reload.
I think the first person shooter screen would have played much better if it was just like hordes of monsters. You see them just like blasting, maybe like I guess like it was like the first try of doing like a hardcore Henry type deal.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Because that shit was bonkers.
But I
I
don't know.
never watched it.
I wanted to
It's
watch
nuts.
it. I wanted to watch it in theaters. Never got around to doing it. I almost did, but yeah, I just didn't. And but yeah, it seems to play something similar to that, but probably like a lot worse than what Hardcore Henry was. And it was just like a slow action. Like it almost just felt weird. Like it was very like you're doing this now. It didn't feel natural. It wasn't exciting. It was just kind of like
Something just packaged up and thrown in there.
yeah, basically. So
As you said before, to prove your point, it just went all over the place.
yep.
It was horror. It was suspense. It was just. Now
It was
it's a
a
video
first-person
game.
shooter game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 101 WWE brawl.
Yeah.
It had everything.
Exactly. So that
Oscar.
finishes up, and of course he meets with The Rock, and they have their like final fight. And then like so him and The Rock are fighting, and at first it's like, oh, Rock is superhuman too, like him, because he looks normal. No, he's turned into a monster now in the middle of the fight. And
I did like his line in the movie. That was pretty cool.
Which one?
That really embraced the Marine Corps mentality.
What?
When he said, "We are all killers. That's what they pay us for."
Yeah.
And I sat there like drinking my brandy really slow, nodding my head.
Yeah, The Rock. So he. Now the one thing I didn't think it was bad. Of course, they didn't really give it the big fucking gun name, Bioforce gun, that he did call a big fuck. But they did have that gun in there, like, and he was like shooting it away, like blasting huge holes in this shit.
And could
The
hit shit.
Big fucking gun is. Do you know what that is?
It's a big fucking gun.
Basically, but
Yeah.
it's in the game. It's like this gun that basically you can shoot. It just kills like everything.
It uses big plasma rounds. and it destroys anything in its way.
Yeah, just anything in its way. Like,
and it's the hardest gun to find in the game.
Yeah.
Every level, because in the original Doom, every level you start out with a pistol.
Yeah.
And you pretty much have to find all your guns, from the shotgun, the plasma rifle, the chainsaw, and then you have to find the BFG and a rocket launcher.
See, BFG always takes me straight to Gauntlet Legends.
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
Please elaborate.
You can so one of the characters you play as is the archer with the chick, and her special is she gets this huge ballista, I guess, and it shoots a bunch of like normal sized arrows all around you, and it shoots this huge like plasma arrow in front of you, and every time you use it, the announcer guy goes BFG every single time.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good.
So that's for me. Always goes straight to that.
You know, that this BFG makes me think of like, since we've been making Resident Evil references the whole time too.
Oh,
I've been playing Resident Evil 7, and I got a bunch of coins, and in the game it takes place in this like house, but then there's a couple other little houses, just like this huge estate with a couple of like different like houses or buildings that are part of this big estate, where apparently there's something they were experimenting on these people. They're not exactly zombies, but these monster creatures. Anyway, you can get these coins and you take them to this shed, and they have these little cages where you put the coins in, and you can unlock, like, you can get the Magnum that way. And in Resident Evil, the Magnum is basically the big fucking gun in Resident Evil. And I got all my coins together, and I got that Magnum fairly early in the game. And I was at like this second boss, and I fucked up. I didn't play the level right, so I had like low health, and I barely had any ammo. And what happens is you fall in this pit, and the woman, she's like a boss. I don't know if you've seen the commercials where they're like sitting in the family, and it's like the older man and then the woman. Mm-hmm. So I'm fighting the woman, and she'll send these swarms of like bugs at you, and they'll like, you know, eat you up. So you're supposed to like flamethrower them with this little thing you have that you can flamethrower the bugs, and then you're supposed to shoot her. And after you shoot her so many times, she'll fall in the pit, and you can get out. And that's how you pass that. Well, I had like no health, no fire ammo stuff, nothing like that. But I had the Magnum, and so she comes out, throws me in the pit. I point the Magnum and shoot her in the head once, and she falls down. And I get out the thing. It was just one shot, just boom, right in the head, and she just like, all right, good, because I didn't have nothing. Yeah, that was it.
In my experience with Resident Evil, the Magnum, which also goes by the name Colt Python, does wonders.
Yeah, no,
in every situation.
It was amazing. I just shot that lady in the head. She fell down. Like, I actually died in there like 3 different times because like I really wasn't sure what to do. And like I ran out of like all my ammo, but I had like, oh wait, I had this coin. I go back and get the Magnum. So I went and got the Magnum after I died 2 or 3 times fighting her, and got the Magnum, and I fell in there and just went, and then she was dead. So that was the end of that. So, but big fucking guns aside, I mean, I guess it was cool to see that. I know in the new Doom game, they have the big fucking gun, and it, like, you shoot it, and it's this big plasma ball, and it just travels across the screen, and anything, just anywhere in the vicinity of the plasma ball dies. Not just in front of it, because it'll like shoot like these plasma energy waves, and it's just like this wave of plasma energy that just kills everything in sight. That's how the new Doom game does the big fucking.
That's why it was good to have that on your side.
Yeah, Definitely.
Every time you found it, you would obliterate everything.
But in the new Doom game, you find it a little past midway in the game, and
Yeah, because I know Doom 3, you don't get it to close to the end of the game.
no, you get a little before that.
Because you had to chase this guy who's got the gun. And then finally, when you get to him, he's already morphed into like a zombie demon tank. And then you kill him, and then you get the gun.
Well, The Rock got the gun by just going into a room, and he was just like, he just turned his head slowly and looked at the gun. And was
That's
just
what he does at bars.
whoa. And he's like, just a big gun. And then later in the movie, he actually calls it a big fucking gun. So, whatever. They got
That-
that. Anyways,
That's his nightlife in clubs.
yeah.
He goes in, he gives it that look like, man, that's a big fucking girl.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna go get that.
so anyway, that's basically the end of the movie. So to get back on track, they had the first person shooter scene. They fight, turns into a monster, gets sent through a portal, throw a grenade in that portal with him. He dies. Everybody's dead except for Reaper, Carl Urban's character, and
Right.
his sister Sam, which I can't remember the actress's name. I just keep calling her Sam.
And the ending is probably the best part of the movie
Basically,
You know
because
why?
it's finally-
Because it's over.
because it doesn't set up a sequel.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's it. Well, it kind of does if you think that now this guy is a super soldier and he's, gone. So, I mean,
I don't even think he gets a sentence
they
out.
don't purposely set up a sequel, but it could definitely be.
Yeah, not like Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, no.
At the end of that movie, that set up a sequel.
Yeah, they did set Super Mario Brothers up for a sequel. It's
Oh
true.
yeah, where she just comes crashing through the door with
Yeah.
like a grenade belt.
Yes,
strapped
like,
across her
like
chest.
I think they should have put
Princess
her
Daisy.
in the Doom movie.
Oh,
and she'd
yeah.
have done just fine.
Yep.
Where she pops up and says, "Hey Reaper, we gotta go fuck some shit up."
That's the setup for the second Doom movie. It's just Princess Daisy with that that Nintendo gun that was
Yep,
the
the
de-evolutionizer.
de-evolutionizer.
Yeah. Maybe that will cure the zombie creatures back to human. I don't know.
You know, it wouldn't
Get
have
rid
been
of
so
that
bad.
extra chromosome.
Exactly.
Like, just shoot it and everybody
De-evolutionize
becomes
that
normal.
chromosome.
Right.
There you go.
Then again, in a way, it wouldn't have been so bad if she would have showed up and said, "Hey, I came from Earth. Earth is swarmed with all this shit. It's been taken over. We gotta go to Earth." And you're
Earth
like,
is covered with flying turtles.
Yeah.
and you're like, all right.
Sounds nice.
Sounds like Doom 2's on the way.
Please, God, no. I honestly, though, I wouldn't be mad if they did Doom again, as long as they just redo it. Like give it some extra juice like they did Dread. Just redo it. It could be a B movie. I think it could still be a good movie. There's some good stuff there. Just stick with the demon stuff. Let's do demons. Let's do
Yeah,
Mars.
let's do the
Let's
whole
do space stuff.
Portal to
Because that's
Hell.
something
Let's
that's
do that.
kind of it's still different. I don't think you really see a lot of movies that are like you're in outer space, you're in Mars, and you're also like fighting demons from hell. And it's like a sci-fi
There's
horror.
probably a
action.
reason for that.
No, I was,
Probably so, but
no,
you know what?
I was about to say Total Recall.
Well, don't worry about fight demons.
Hey, have you seen the mutants on that planet?
Yeah, okay. Three
That was the
titties.
one with the three titties?
titties
Yeah.
is not a demon. 3 titties is just 3 titties.
Or
That
what about
was-
that scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger walks in that bar? He's like, "You really have a lot of nerve showing your face around here. Look who's talking." He has like a mutated face. And you're like, aha! Nailed it.
Thanks.
Why do I feel like this was against me?
But we'll go ahead and wrap this up. How many lives you lost watching it? I'll tell you, I lost 4. 4 out of 5. Definitely not happy with the movie. I'd rather not watch it again. I barely remember it, so that's fine. I'll probably forget it after this podcast.
I almost lost all of them until I realized they didn't set up a sequel. So I got 1+. So I say about 4.
No worries. Tim, I think you only partially watched it, but from what you've heard,
From what you read my notes.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't watch the movies, so I lost blue out of purple.
There you go.
Yep.
All right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Acceptable.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to us here with Losing Lives, watching bad video game movies for you. Next month, we're looking at doing the 2 Street Fighter movies. These podcasts, as you may know already, are released every other week. We'll do Who's Next podcast, and then we'll do Losing Lives podcast, one after the other each week. So you're always getting a podcast from us each week, but we just have 2 different types that we're looking at trying to do. So message us, tell us what you thought about Doom. Maybe you like Doom, maybe you didn't like Doom, just like
Maybe you
us.
think we're just a bunch of assholes.
Yep. So that could be the case too. So just let us know, and look forward to our next episode with Street Fighter.